All right, okay, Bacary. First of all, I just wanted to get your thoughts on ahead of the game, obviously on Sunday, but more so on Arsenal's season so far. I mean, they're going into this one 10th in the Premier League. I think it's 8 points off the top six, 12 off the top four. I mean,
Yeah.
has this really been the sort of season you've been expecting from Arsenal, given how they ended last year with the FA Cup?
Well, kind of, because the club totally changed since Arsene Wenger left. We had Unai Emery first, who did an okay job, but most importantly, now we're having Mikel Arteta, who's doing to me a great job. He's managing to build a team around some players like Aubameyang, Bacary Sagna, which is to me amazing and probably the best player at the minute. But he's giving his trust to the young players, and he's kind of working. Of course, it's not perfect because whenever someone so emblematic like Arsene Wenger leaves the club, it's always difficult to replace him. Man United had the problem whenever Ferguson left. It took 3 years because he bounced back, and today he's on the top of the league. So yeah, I'm not surprised it's going to take time, but we just have to trust the process. And I think Mikel is doing a great job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's talk about this game on Sunday now. I mean, Arsenal-Tottenham, it's always a big game. It's always a game that everyone looks for when the fixtures come out if you're an Arsenal fan. But sort of given where Arsenal are in the league at the moment, I mean, is this how big a game do you think this is for Arsenal?
Well, without even thinking about the league, it's a derby. And you know how it is for the fans, for the clubs, for the community, for the Arsenal lovers. It's really important to win the game. And it's a pride. It's about pride first. Of course, regarding the league, it's going to be really important because we are not many games left. And if you want to catch up a European spot, they have to win all games now. It's doable because Arsenal can win against anyone, but it's going to be tricky because they're going to be facing a good team, a solid team with amazing players. So it's going to be an interesting game. Tactically, very good because we're going to have one team who will try to have the possession, facing a team who likes to defend and who defend quite compactly and which is good in counter attack. So I'm looking forward for the game, but of course it's a derby. A derby has to be won, and of course, obviously, I want Arsenal to win it.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs have kind of like Arsenal had a mixed season, haven't they? But they've hit some form now, haven't they? Kane scoring again, Bale's come in and showing the type of form that we thought Bale would show now. So it's yeah, they're hitting form at the right time, aren't they?
Yes, it's I think they're doing okay still.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts saying this, but they're doing okay, you know. They built a new stadium and new facilities. They're building the team. They brought a new manager and they brought back Gareth Bale. It took time for him to pick up some stability into the team, but I think he found his form now. He scored a few goals recently. Harry Kane was injured. He came back and scored. You have Son, which is amazing and probably their best player and the most dangerous player in the team, which was not as efficient as he was at the beginning of the season, but he's getting there again. And yeah, they have few interesting players. It's gonna be a tricky game to play for Arsenal because Tottenham is totally different from the Tottenham I used to face back in the days. They changed a lot, and it's a really solid team. So yeah, Arsenal has to be careful on this one.
Yeah, and obviously they got Mourinho in charge, a manager that Arsene used to have quite a lot of run-ins with. What were your sort of thoughts and your memories of coming up against Mourinho? And is he the type of manager you'd like to see Arsenal have gone for at some stage or not?
You know what? I like his confidence and the fact that he want to step on players and he want to step on his opponent. He just want to win. He has the right mentality. He will take anything to win the game, no matter how he has to play, even if he has to play for like on the defensive side. If he has to be compact for 90 minutes, as long as he doesn't concede goal, he believes he can always score. And he's right because when you play against Harry Kane in front of the goal is clinical, and Bale is getting clinical. Son is clinical too, so he knows if he sits well and if they play compact, they're gonna end up winning some games, and that's his mentality. Not for everyone, not everyone likes it, but I admire the fact that he doesn't hide it, and I like his confidence, honestly. And of course, I'm happy with the way Arsenal is doing with Mikel, but it's always good to have some kind of big manager, big person at the club who likes to drive everyone up, who likes to bring some positive mood, and I think that's the Mourinho's effect.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Arsenal went down a very different route because they were both appointed about the same time. I think Mourinho was a few weeks before Arteta. You know, Arsenal obviously went down the younger manager. I mean, inexperienced in a way. Well, he was inexperienced, but you could tell he was, you know, he'd learned well under Pep and had something about him that he could be a special coach. I mean, you say you like what Mikel is doing. What's really impressed you since Mikel's taken over and the direction he's taken the club?
You know, it took a team in a difficult situation. When Maria had a tough period at the end of his spell at Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
the club was in a bad shape. I remember saying it was like a circus because to me it's one of the best clubs in the world, but it was not run perfectly. And he managed to bring some peace at the club. He managed to bring some confidence into the players, and you can see the mentality of the players is just great. They turn up to the game and they all run at the same time. They make efforts, and he's not scared to play young players as long as they give 100%. He just gives them the chance, and I think they give this back to him. And the fact that he tried to bring some tactical work into the team, you can see the shape of the team. You can see they try to play, not kick out the ball. They have a meaning behind everything they're doing, and I respect that. I respect that because at the beginning it was probably working, and then of course you're gonna have a tough period. But look, if you want to get there, if you want to go to the top, you need to take some risk. You need to love playing from the back, and it takes time. It takes time. When I was in City and Pep came the first year, it was quite difficult to assimilate everything and all what he was asking to the players. But after 1 year, you could see the team was up there, and it was probably the best team in Europe. And I'm sure if Arsenal keep going that way, within like 1 year or two, they're going to be back to the top.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting comparison because I think a lot of people have spoken about that first season under Pep, and you know people were writing him off. I remember, I think was it Everton when Everton really beat Manchester City badly. Then yeah,
I
and
remember, yeah.
everyone was saying, "Oh, it's not going to work. What he's trying to do is not going to work." And it's kind of you felt a little bit similar with Mikel, but we've certainly seen since Christmas, you know, Arsenal are certainly moving in the right direction. You're looking at the numbers, the stats, the points, everything's suggesting they're now beginning to fight, you know, understand what he wants and the way of playing that he wants, and it's beginning to head in the right direction. So it's very similar to what you mentioned there with Pep and that first season at City.
Yeah, people have to understand it takes a lot of time for players to get used to a different style of play because they probably play one way since they're a kid. So suddenly you ask them to do something else. So they need to assimilate it, and it has to become natural, you know. And everything happens so fast on the pitch that if you don't get it perfectly, or if you're not at the right position at the right time, you cannot play. And it's a normal process. And I think the club need time. The fans should be backing up the team no matter what. This is a way to be successful. You cannot always be successful and win every game. Some game you're gonna have some stick, and as long as the fans stick behind the players, they will be giving everything to give this back to them and to give everything. But regarding the way they want to play, regarding the behavior and the attitude on the pitch, you cannot say much because everyone is giving 100%, and of course they're not going to win every single game, but give them like 1 year or two, and you will see.
Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the Tottenham game again. I wanted to ask about your memories of the North London derby. I mean, what does it just if I say that to you, Tottenham? What does that mean to you? What do you think of when you hear the name Tottenham?
Well, it's a special game. I respect the team. I respect the club. I respect the fans. But you know, to me, it was like probably one of the best games of the year because it's a different way to get ready for the game. It's a different mentality on the game. It's a different attitude to have on the game. Any game should be played 100%. But that game, you want to play 100% for yourself and for the fans because there is no better feeling than winning at the end and see the fans crazy and and being crazy singing on the stadium. And fortunately, I won more than I lost against Tottenham. So I had good memories, and I scored a nice goal also. So
Yeah, I'll get to that goal in a minute, actually.
yeah.
How long?
How
long were you there before you? I mean, when you first joined, I know you had a game. I think your fifth game against after you joined Arsenal was Tottenham, was the 3-1 win at White Hart Lane when Adebayor and Seth scored. But what, before as that game was building up, did you learn straight away just how important the Tottenham match was? As soon as you arrived, who told you? Pat Rice, I don't know, all those sort of people who drilled it into you.
First it was new to me because in France we don't really have, except from Paris and Marseille, which I didn't play for. You don't really have that hate, in between teams, in between fans. So when I came to UK, I enjoyed the first games. I was really happy, but as you say, Pat Rice came to me and kicked my shoulder. He just punched my shoulder and said, "Hey, you, this weekend is a derby, so you better be ready." And I felt like, oh, I was like, okay. Then the build-up of the game was different. I felt it, and even walking on the street, the fans were like already celebrating, already like cheering up the team to win the game, and I could feel it was different. And even when I first got to the pitch for the warm-up, you could feel like people throwing at us, and you could feel the hate. And personally, I liked it, and I enjoyed my first game at the White Hart Lane, and won on top of that.
Well, it was a great
nice way.
Great game as well.
It was a crazy game.
Goals.
And Gareth Bale scored the first goal on free kick. So
he did, yeah. And then I remember everyone still remembers it. It's still shown now. Cesk's goal and then Adebayor's volley. What a goal that was! And
crazy.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, it was the first year in Arsenal was probably my most beautiful year. Regarding emotions, regarding the team attitude, regarding the result, also because we went far in the Champions League. To me, we had to go through the quarterfinal because Liverpool game was a bit strange, home and away game, and I only have good memories. And regarding Tottenham, of course, I have good memories.
Yeah, I think that season is one that a lot of fans remember. It's a massive sort of what if season, that one, wasn't it? It was so close in every competition. It was a good team.
Yeah, it was, and we had a young team. Yeah. We were friends, So
let me talk about actually just quickly on the Tottenham game. Before I get to your goal in the 5-2, that you talked about Pat Rice there, because there wasn't that many sort of experienced English players in that squad when you first arrived, and normally, certainly in that years gone by before that, they were the players who would really tell you what the derby meant and make sure you knew exactly what to expect. I've heard loads of stories about Tony Adams, Keown, people like that, but you didn't have those type of players. So did some of the more experienced foreign players who had been around for a while do it, or was it very much sort of Pat Rice running the show, or Wenger?
No, that was Pat Rice. He did it all. He was an inspiration for all of us, for me personally, because he used to play right back, and I didn't know him before I got to Arsenal, but I could see his attitude. I could see his desire to win all the time. I could see his desire to, as a defender, to push me even more. Whenever I was not active defensively and just standing in front of the winger, he was not happy. He used to come to me and say, "Look," he never told me you did bad or you changed or you're not doing enough. He always tried to find a way to exchange with me, And I remember, especially one day, he came to me and he said, "Look, I have to speak about something." That was after I broke my leg. I didn't realize, but my attitude defensively changed. I was not so sharp. I was not so aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
It was probably a mental problem. I don't know. That was after I broke my leg. And he came to me and said, "Look, what do you think of trying to get more aggressive?" He didn't say, "Hey, you're not doing your job," And I really appreciate that. And I didn't accept it because to me, I want to be the best. And to me, I was okay. But with time, I realized he was 100% right, And I used it. I used it because I did really well at Arsenal, and then after I broke my leg, I was okay. I was not bad, but I was okay. Then I started talking to him, and I exchanged a lot with him, and I didn't really accept because to me, I was defending, I was doing my job, but he knew my potential, and he knew I could do a lot more. And regarding the team, he had the same spirit. He was really important for the club, for the team, and I was a bit sad when he left because to me he was like a mentor, you know.
Yeah, he was a very, very popular figure around the place. So in terms of your favourite memory of a North London derby, you've already mentioned it. Is it that goal and that 5-2 win and the fact that your goal started that comeback? Is that your favourite memory of playing Spurs?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because we started the game, we were 2 down, and I missed like 2 or 3 passes. I was not really into my game, you know. And I remember William Gallas already played for them. I don't want to mention Tottenham, I say them, you know. And and he was in the stand. So I had 20 difficult minutes. I didn't come into the game like the way I should be. And then I scored. And from the minute I scored, it changed myself, and I believe it's changed the team.
Mm-hmm.
The mentality and the fans, also the fans' attitude became even more electrical. And yeah, as soon as I scored, I knew we were going to come back. This is why I went. I didn't even celebrate, you know. I went to get the ball back, and I dropped it in the middle to say, okay, let's go. Let's see now who's the best, you know. And I'm glad we scored directly behind. And I think mentally they were like hurt just before the halftime. And yeah, I knew we were gonna win from the minute we scored.
Yeah, I was in the stands that day. It was a special afternoon. And Robin scored the goal straight after you as well, and 2-0 down to 2-2 at half time. It's just everything
in like 5 minutes maybe. So, and his goal was everything on his goal was crazy. The way his first touch and the way he set up himself and even bend it's just perfect, you know. And I have goosebumps, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure if you ever scored a better header than that. I mean, I remember he scored the header at the near post against Chelsea that season, actually. Not that season, the first season. But this one, I don't know what you're doing so high up the pitch for that goal.
Well, I knew we had to push because we were turning down. So I thought, look, if I don't go forward, Bell will stay forward with me. And you know how dangerous he is. So I forced him to defend.
Mm-hmm.
My way of thinking was I need to attack. I need to make them tired defending and following me everywhere. So whenever they have the ball, they're not so sharp, you know. That was my mentality. Whenever I was facing someone difficult, I was running up front, thinking, okay, follow me. If he didn't follow me, it was a benefit for me and for the team. But I had to force them to, because no winger likes to defend, you know. So I use a lot psychological aspect in my game, and especially on players like Bale and Ronaldo and all of them, you know. Defend and use energy defending, you know.